Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 83rd episode of In the Trenches, Kroll's weekly cyber threat intelligence briefing. Today is the 13th of January, and my name is George Glass, an Associate Managing Director in the Cyber Threat Intelligence team. Joining me today from the CTI team is Ryan Hicks and Dave Truman. As always, we'll be covering the most recent trends that our threat intelligence team is witnessing in the trenches. So, get to the situation report. First up, we have MORPHEUS Ransomware, which Kroll tracks as KTA 398. It emerged around the beginning of 2025 with the discovery of their data leak site and initial victim postings. According to researchers, it is possible that the binaries of MORPHEUS could resemble HELLCAT. That's KTA 380. Kroll will continue to track these entities separately until a stronger link can be obtained between the two operations. Next up, we've got an update from CLOP, KTA 080. Between January 3rd and 6th, 2025, CLOP has published 2 new victim organizations, one possibly pertaining to the Cleo Zero-Day Exploitation, that's CVE 2024-50623, and the other likely not related. These assessments have been made due to the organization's naming conventions, either matching or not matching the previously posted list from the group. Of course, we're keeping a very close eye on this, and we'll have more updates as they come. Remember, if you have any questions or comments, please get in touch with us using cti@kroll.com. cti@kroll.com. So let's get into today's briefing. Today, we're going to cover the following trends our team is concentrating on. I'll be covering the out-of-band update that we sent last week regarding Ivanti. Ryan will be covering an update on the supply chain attack affecting Chrome plugins, and Dave has analysis on LDAPNightmare. So, Ivanti has disclosed vulnerabilities affecting Ivanti Connect Secure, ICS, Ivanti Policy Secure, IPS, and Ivanti Neurons for Zero Trust ZTA gateways. According to Ivanti, CVE 2025-0282 has been exploited on a limited number of ICS appliances. There are no confirmed reports of exploitation of CVE 2025-0283. The first CVE is a CVSS of 9.0, and that's a stack-based buffer overflow in Ivanti Connect Secure before version 22.7 R2.5. Policy Secure versions before 22.7 R1.2, and Ivanti Neurons for ZTA Gateway 22.7 R2.3. That allows a remote unauthenticated attacker to achieve remote code execution. There are mitigation steps. We really do advise you go to the Ivanti advisory for up-to-date information here. But a keynote from our DFIR team is that once the integrity checker tool is executed, the output is saved to preserve artifacts for further analysis before factory resetting or updating devices. Bear in mind that the exploitation in the wild presents a fake update page. So although updates may appear to be applying, that is what the malware is designed to do. There is no guarantee that those have been applied unless you check otherwise. If you have any indication that there is a exploit on your Ivanti appliance, please do get in touch with Kroll. You can use cti@kroll.com. There's a number of ways of getting in touch with us on our website also. With that, I will hand over to Ryan to talk about the Chrome exploitation of these Chrome extensions. Over to you, Ryan.
Thanks, George. So last week we reported on an ongoing campaign seeing malicious code introduced into Chrome browser extension updates. That led to information stealing activity within a victim's browser. The Kroll SOC and Threat Intel team have continued to investigate this activity over the last few weeks. So firstly, from sort of initial findings last week, it appeared that the campaign started around December 25th. However, after conducting threat hunting across managed service customers, we've identified malicious activity beginning on December 9th in both EMEA and the US, so much earlier than kind of was originally sort of scoped out. There does not The information in the graphs, so on the right-hand side, shows the logged events that contained either a DNS request or a connection to a malicious domain or IP address. The EMEA is at the top with US at the bottom, so quite a range of activity across quite a long period, not just again where we was originally looked at just around the 25th December. And there does not appear to be any real correlation. We looked to see if there was any kind of particular areas where certain domains and browser extensions were prominent, but it seems to be quite spread out across the entire time period. And the most prominent domains that we saw across our data so far were reader mode ext and bookmark FC, which is the one that originally kind of raised alerting on our some of our cases. And so the crawl SOC has taken the proactive approach of removing the extensions from hosts when unpatched versions were identified due to their malicious nature, and will continue to contact any impacted customers with guidance and support. The recommendations currently for any impacted customers are to revoke any user sessions and reset credentials as a precaution to anyone that had any of the impacted browser extensions, and also it's recommended that any impacted users that have those extensions also reset any other credentials that were stored within Chrome as an additional precaution, as it targets kind of a range of credentials that they may store, or the victim may have stored, and whether it be kind of for work purposes or maybe even sort of some personal accounts they may have stored within the Chrome browser, just as a precaution to reset any of those for impacted users. So that's a small update from us. We'll continue to investigate this campaign. Back to you, George.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, really good. I'd recommend everyone read that report in the weekly. That's a really good one. Next up, over to Dave for some news on LDAPNightmare. Over to you, Dave.
Thank you. A proof of concept for an LDAP vulnerability Microsoft patched in December's Patch Tuesday has been released by SafeBreach. The POC is for the vulnerability microclassified as a denial of service vulnerability, CVE 2024-49113, which has a CVSS score of 7.5. It is not for the critical remote code executor vulnerability, CVE 2024-49112, patched at the same time. SafeBreach's blog and GitHub repository have caused some confusion because they state in both their blog and GitHub page that CVE 2024-49113 allows remote code execution. However, that vulnerability is categorized by Microsoft as a denial of service vulnerability. Reading both SafeBreach's blog and repository documentations, we can see that they state in their blog they have been unable to achieve remote code execution, and we can see in their GitHub page that the POC crashes the Windows system, i.e. it proves the denial of service aspect. Even though it seems the POC released by SafeBreach is not a remote code execution, it is recommended to patch as soon as possible, as technical details for this vulnerability chain are now publicly available. This makes it easy for a skilled attacker to develop their own exploit, and we expect one in the near future. Thank you. George?
Thank you very much for that clarification, Dave. Yeah, I think that's really important to cover. And thank you also to Ryan. I think that's all we have time for this week. If you have any questions or comments, please do reach out to us using cti@kroll.com, cti@kroll.com. And of course, we have our hotlines on our kroll.com webpage as well. Have a wonderful day, everybody.